understand this is an issue that evokes strong passion. I understand people that see in the flag signs of racism and slavery, the original sin of this nation. I also understand others who see an historical legacy that they don't want their ancestors forgotten. And I think it's wrong for a bunch of people who aren't from the giving state to parachute in to South Carolina and dictate what they should do.
All right, folks, joining us now is the one and only Ben Stein, film actor, author, former speechwriter for Presidents Nixon and Ford. Check him out at MrBenStein.com. And Ben, always great to talk to you. Where do you fall on what's going on in the aftermath of the shooting?
Well, wait a minute. First of all, I don't have a website called MrBenStein.com, but I probably should.
I don't know. They told me you do, so I apologize for that. I have one just called Ben Stein. I was just like one called just BenStein.com. But anyway, in the aftermath of the shooting, I think the guy was a crazy, psycho, criminal, awful guy. I think that the church-going Christian black people of Charleston and white people of Charleston have responded magnificently, absolutely superbly. I think it's fine if they take the Confederate flag down from public buildings. After all, black people pass by those buildings every day and think to themselves, some must think to themselves, what on earth are they doing holding up a flag under which our ancestors were enslaved? But on the other hand, I don't understand why private people shouldn't be allowed to buy it. And my latest stunner, which I just discovered last night, is that Amazon no longer sells anything with a Confederate flag, and they up until just a couple of days or virtually hours ago they did, and in a kind of Orwellian twist, overnight they've disappeared. They're just not there anymore. And what harm does it do anyone, for one individual person, to have a flag as his blanket or his quilt or a throw pillow? What harm does that do? Well, Ben, let me give you another one. Apple has banned Civil War games from the App Store.
Well, that's crazy. I mean, that's just plain crazy. I mean, this is how totalitarian dictatorships start, is with tormenting people about supposedly righteous causes and then turning it into, as I say, totalitarian dictatorships. This is just, I mean, I'm not so much surprised at Apple, because they're always playing the politically correct game unless there's money on the table, and then they play the money game. But Amazon touts itself as the world's largest bookstore, the place where you can buy anything. What harm is there in selling Confederate blankets or quilts? And may I also add, they still will sell you cheerfully posters of Hitler, not posters condemning Hitler, but Nazi Party reproduction of Nazi Party portraits of Hitler in a soulful, heroic pose. They will also sell you portraits and posters of Stalin, Mao Zedong, and Che Guevara, all mass murderers, especially Stalin and Mao. What's going on here? They won't sell an image of a flag under which many Americans' ancestors fought, and they will sell images of Adolf Hitler? I don't understand it.
Yeah, no, it's political correctness run amok. I mean,
I don't know if it's scary. Where's the end of it? I mean, George Washington owned slaves. Are they going to knock down the Washington Monument?
Well, they were
Jefferson owned slaves.
They were talking on CNN yesterday, Ben, Ashley Banfield and Don Lemon, about getting rid of the Jefferson Memorial.
I know. Well, that's just incredible. It's absolutely incredible. Ashley Banfield and Don Lemon, sorry, not John Lennon, Don Lemon are just mad as hatters on this subject, and I don't get it at all. And as I say, Thomas Jefferson is the author, not entirely, but in large part, of the Declaration of Independence. How can they even consider taking down his monument? I mean, are they going to now take down? Are they going to change the name of Washington Lee University? I know there's already a movement afoot to do that. My wife went to Washington Lee High School in Arlington. Are they going to take that down? I mean, the political correctness, once it starts, it doesn't stop.
All right, and of course it extends to guns too, Ben. That's the other side of the issue. And now you have the effort by Toomey, the Republican, and Joe Manchin, the Democrat, to once again go to background checks. And yet Toomey was asked on CNN yesterday, would background checks have stopped any of the recent mass shooters from accomplishing what they did? And Toomey said, well, maybe Virginia Tech, but I'm not even sure about that. So they admit, I mean, there's 20,000 gun laws now.
Yeah, there's absolutely no correlation
between the strictness of the gun laws and the amount of homicides caused by guns. I mean, it's amazing. America is one of the highest gun violence countries in the world. But if you took out Oakland, Chicago, Washington, D.C., Baltimore, a few others, you would have very low national rates of homicide. And those cities are the cities with the strictest gun control laws. It's the guns don't shoot themselves. If you put a gun up against your wall and put bullets next to it, it's not going to load itself and shoot itself. People shoot people, right. And that's a terrible thing. And it's a terrible thing. And it's so fascinating to me that all the politically correct people will glom onto this issue in Charleston, and they should. It's a terrible thing that happened, absolutely terrible, just awful. But since then, there have been well over 100 shootings of black people by other black people, and nobody ever even mentions that. I mean, that's like a taboo subject.
Yeah, and they will not. About 40 seconds left. Are you surprised by the ruling by the Supreme Court today?
Not in the slightest. I assumed they would not want to try to unscramble the egg and put it back in the shell. Obamacare is flawed, but it's a fact of life, and I think it's on balance a good thing we have universal health coverage.
Wow. Okay. So you're glad that they left it alone?
Yeah, I'm glad. I mean, it's a symptom of how sloppy Obama is. Right. But I'm glad they left it alone.
Okay, Ben, great to talk to you, sir. Thank you.
God bless you, sir.
You too. Take care. All right, folks. Up next, Melanie Morgan with a very important segment about supporting our troops. Don't go away.